Welcome. Today we are going to talk about one of the many forms of abuse and exploitation of animals, in particular dogs, and regarding specifically greyhounds used for racing and betting. Today we also have a special guest here. Her name is Julie McHenry, and she is going to talk about this problem on behalf of GACI Association. Julie, could you please tell us more about the goals of this association, please?
The name of the association is GACI, Greyhound Adopt Centre Italy, which is based in Modena and formed exclusively of volunteers. GACI was founded in 2002 after the closure of the racetrack in Rome, where it found homes for the 370 dogs that were left without a future. Since then, GACI finds homes for greyhounds that are saved from Anglo-Saxon racetracks, and also galgos saved from death in Spain. GACI finds homes for roughly 300 greyhounds a year.
You spoke about greyhounds saved from racetracks in Anglo-Saxon countries and galgos saved from death in Spain. Could you please tell us more about the reasons and the ways in which these dogs are exploited, in particular in the Anglo-Saxon countries for racing?
English greyhounds, otherwise known as racing greyhounds, are used primarily for racing, for betting. There are many puppies are born into this industry solo, only to be used for making money. In Ireland alone, roughly 15,000 puppies are born into this industry, and but the numbers are very difficult to obtain because not all puppies are registered. They undergo a very rigorous selection process, and if they're found suitable for racing, they have a very brief career of 2 or 3 years. Those that don't qualify or who are injured or fail to win are legally discarded using methods that are more or less cruel. The Greyhound Rescue Association of Ireland in 2010 estimated that roughly 10,000 greyhounds disappear each year from this industry. While they're competitive, they live most of their lives in cages for 23 hours a day, and this is their life while they're competitive. In Ireland, greyhounds are considered livestock and not pets.
And what is the different but similarly terrible fate of galgos in Spain?
Galgos, otherwise known as Spanish greyhounds, are used for hunting in Spain. Much like English greyhounds, they are exploited, but above the exploitation, they also have a life of abuse. They're only kept usually for 1 season of hunting, and if they're no good at hunting, they are normally killed, but usually first they're tortured. So they have their legs broken, they get thrown live into wells, and they are hanged. So they live a life of abuse, and they usually find death that's very cruel.
Seeing as the aim of the association GACI is to find a love and a home for these dogs, so to promote their adoptions, we would like to know from Julie, what are the behavioral characteristics of these breeds? In particular, is it possible for both greyhounds and galgos to live in a flat? Do they need a specific long walks? Can we take them for a relaxed walk? How do we live with them if we adopt one?
Both greyhounds and galgos could be defined as feline. They're very quiet, they're very clean, they're very elegant, they're not aggressive, and they both get on well with children. They have no odour because of their very low percentage of fat. They love to sleep. They are perfect apartment dogs because they don't need a lot of space and they don't need to run excessively. Just normal daily walks is fine for them. They are no good for defence. They're very tranquil dogs, very, very quiet. So they're perfect for apartments.
And what can you tell us specifically about greyhounds?
English greyhounds, also because of their very rigid training, they're very poised and very easy to manage. They're used to being handled. They have a natural prey drive, so they don't. It's not recommended that they live with cats.
So, as you said, it is not recommended to adopt a greyhound if you live with a cat or with other small animals like rabbits, birds, whatever may raise their predatory instinct. But of course, if you ask GACI, they will probably know how to help you and maybe find a greyhound or a galgo that has a different attitude towards these kind of animals. So you always have to talk with GACI first about adopting a greyhound or a galgo if you already have another pet. What more can you tell us about galgos? What are their characteristics as domestic animal?
Galgos haven't had such a rigid past of such a disciplined past, so they're very natural and very vivacious and affectionate. They may have had a past that was full of abuse, so they may be traumatized, so timid, and they're very fragile psychologically, or they may be because of their traumatic past. They find an immeasurable love for their adoptive family, and it's recommended that they're much more likely to get on well with cats.
And last question that I would like to ask, Julie, not last but almost, concerns the project, the school projects of GACI. This project was first conceived to go against the negative practice of many schools that allow Italian students to take part into greyhound racing when they take them to England or Ireland to study English. So can you tell us more about this project, Julie?
GACI has initiated this new project whereby we go into schools to talk about greyhound exploitation and adoption. It's available at the moment in English, presented by a mother tongue speaker, and we've been into a few high schools. But we also have this project in Italian for all ages, adapting the content to make it age appropriate. We initiated this project in English because many schools in Italy, while they take their students to Ireland for holidays, they take them also to the racecourse. And we'd like to put an end to this practice. We'd also like to enter into the schools in Seregno.
So now we would like to know more about how we can adopt a greyhound or a galgo from GACI, and also where we can get to know more and better GACI as an association, considering the wonderful job that they are doing at the moment.
Anyone interested in adopting a greyhound or interested in GACI can contact the staff on the contact on the website. All the information is available on the website. GACI also organises walks in different towns around Italy, and that's open to anyone who can join and learn more about GACI and meet both the adoptees, the staff and also the greyhounds.
I want to thank you a lot, Julie, for being here today, and GACI Association, and of course our other dog guest, Jez, that you have seen with us today. And I also want to remind you that unfortunately this is a period when a lot of animals get abandoned. We all know that abandoning an animal is a crime, and it means that it's a death sentence. So unfortunately a lot of people still do this. So what I recommend you to do is to watch out for animals during summer, because when you see either a dog or a cat or a rabbit or whatever kind of animal you may find in the streets, please make sure that they don't need you, because it's always better to check twice rather than leaving the poor animal who needs your help in the street alone. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next future.
Hard to find a way to get through. It's a tragedy, pulling at me like the stars do.